Hi, and welcome to 12 Steps in Accent Reduction for Actors with your accent reduction coach, Stephen Stanley. Today we're going to look at a short scene involving a confession. But first, make sure you've already watched my 12 Steps in Accent Reduction for Actors, the Basics video for an introduction to my 12-step program. In today's scene, Robin has something to confess to Kelly. Pause the video in order to give yourself time to read the scene, silently or aloud, then click on play when you've finished. Since you've already viewed my first 12 steps video and know about the steps, now is your chance to put them into practice, beginning with step 1. I'll be doing this with both Robin's lines and Kelly's, but of course you'll only need to do that for the role that you yourself are playing. So, first of all, highlight the consonant and vowel sounds that might give you trouble because of first language interference. Naturally, the sounds you highlight will depend on your native language and the particular difficulties you tend to have when speaking English. But for this particular video, I'm highlighting the TH sound, whether it's voiced in words like there and that, or voiceless in words like think and something. I've highlighted the R sound in married and serious, for example, and when it comes after a T in trying. I've also highlighted the SH sound in words like should and the S sound in words like serious because some non-native speakers have trouble distinguishing between them. In step 2, I put an accent mark over each stressed word in the scene. And as you know, that means nouns, verbs, with a few exceptions, adjectives, adverbs, question words like what, where, and why, and indefinite pronouns like something and anyone. Also, notice that in the phrasal verb get off, in get it off my chest, it's the second word that gets the stress. So pause the video again and take a quick look at the words I've accented. Now that you've found all of the stressed words, remember that these are the words that will take the beats and give your sentence English's distinctive jazzy rhythm. Step 3. Underline the word that takes the final stress, because that's where the tone of your voice will either rise and fall or rise and keep rising, depending on what kind of sentence you're saying. More about that when we look at intonation. For now, notice that the last stressed word is often, maybe even usually, the last word. For example, no, that, done, money, serious, say, chest, and listening. But look at Robin's third line, and you'll see that the last stressed word is the verb talk, which means that your voice will go up on that word and then fall for the 4 words, 2 prepositions and 2 pronouns that follow. Step 4 is about intonation, the music in your voice. And so I've drawn a line over each sentence to indicate where the tone of your voice rises or falls. Most of these sentences are statements or information questions, so they have rising, falling intonation. For example, there's something I think you should know, and it's something I've done. But Kelly's question, are you serious, is a yes-no question, so it has rising intonation. And now look at Robin's third line and see what happens when there are unstressed words at the end of a sentence. I want to talk to you about it. Can you hear how and where my voice goes up and down? I want to talk to you about it. In step 5, you will cross out reduced vowels to remind you to pronounce them. This can mean reduced vowels in unstressed syllables of multisyllable words, like the last syllable of serious, or unstressed one-syllable words whose vowel sound reduces to For example, your, that becomes your, and to, that becomes t. Oh, And you'll also want to remind yourself that want to is reduced to wanna in casual conversation and have to have to. Step 6. Remember that English sentences are pronounced as a continuous stream of sound, which means linking words together. Drawing a small curved line between each connection can help you remember this. Sometimes this means connecting a consonant with a vowel, as when you say talk about, or a consonant with a consonant, as when you say should know or it's something. Step 7 asks you to pay attention to palatalization, which is why I've written a small J above the D in married and the Y in you, as a reminder that married you is pronounced married you. Step 8 is a very important one because it asks you to pay special attention to the way the letter T is pronounced. When it comes before a stressed vowel, it's pronounced clearly with a tiny puff of air, as when you say, I want to talk. But remember that before an unstressed vowel, the letter T is pronounced like a light, quick D sound. And so I've made a note of that in the sentences, I want to talk to you about it, about it. What are you trying to say? What are you? What are you? And I have to get it off my chest. Get it off. In step 9, watch out for silent consonants and words whose pronunciation differs from their spelling. In this scene, the vowel L in should is silent, so I've crossed it out, and the same is true with both the E and the T in listening. Step 10 is your chance to put all of your annotations into practice by recording and listening to your pronunciation. Naturally, you'll only be doing this for your own role, but for the purposes of this video, I'll do this for the entire scene. Listen as I perform Robin's confession and Kelly's response to it to see how I'm putting steps 1 to 9 into practice. Look, there's something I think you should know. What's that? It's something I've done. I married you for your money. Are you serious? Yes, I want to talk to you about it. What are you trying to say? It's hard to talk about, but I have to get it off my chest. I'm listening. Let me do that one more time. Look, there's something I think you should know. What's that? It's something I've done. I married you for your money. Are you serious? Yes, I want to talk to you about it. What are you trying to say? It's hard to talk about, but I have to get it off my chest. I'm listening. Step 11, practice, practice, practice. And step 12, remember that methodology and acting class techniques are not enough if English isn't your first language. Now, pause the video and practice the scene on your own. You can also find the scene in the video description on my YouTube page. This is Stephen, hoping you've enjoyed today's look at 12 steps in accent reduction for actors.